So this is the last match in my games against Recon in the Ladder Wars tournament. I chose this map after losing the last game because the only other choices were Rivendell, which I've never played on before, and Alien Atoll, which is far too small for me to be able to get to a late game against a player like ZertoN. I would just, I'd get to late game production, and then I'd immediately have nowhere on the map to mine from, and I'd lose the game. So this is, if I remember rightly, actually an interesting game because you can see how both of us actually adapt in different ways to what's been happening. I have basically sort of got to the point where my greediness with the ground army has been fine every game, but I have not been able to get air out quick enough to actually deal with his aggression. So I, in this game, if I remember rightly, I'm gonna go for a drone bay a lot quicker than I had before. You can see I'm being greedy with this guy because in the last game, being less greedy didn't hinder me at all. And I'm putting them all along this side so that I only have one area to defend against air. I don't want to have, over to the left, over to the right, and the front and the back, all to separately defend from air. I just want to keep it this smooth line up here. ZertoN is also expanding backwards. I've seen him. This is the way he likes to expand on this map. If you expand aggressively on this map, there's sort of really nowhere to go money-wise. Like, it's just clearly better here. I believe he scoops around this way. And seems so far like he's doing the exact same normal thing. So my slam. Sent this back here because there was a car, but I killed it and didn't realise and was looking for it, and then was like, I must have killed it. And there's not really much to say here. Nice slow opening. The divergence should be coming soon, though. After this power has been made. And after this power has been made. So I slam. And this is something I might start doing against some of this. I throw down the drone bay before teching. In that last game, in the second game I didn't realise it because I screwed up so much that it didn't even matter. But in this game, in the last game, my drone bay wasn't quite fast enough to defend against his first choppers, and you can see that he's making his hit. If I'd been making tech here, I would start making this after he'd made his first helipad, which was fine in the first game, where he wasn't so aggressive. But if he's gonna send his first two helicopters to attack me with, I'm gonna want some strikes out. So I'm starting to send my Marines out. I'm gonna send my first strike out to scout a bit as well. And here is his first helicopter. And I even go a second factory because I sort of realized like I wasn't making anything that was a higher tech. When I did make Manticores, they ended up not working. I made Manticores to sort of buffer how few strikes I thought I'd have. So this is the more successful, but I probably should have gone tech there rather than this, but I don't know. It might even be this is better because I do just want ogres. So I have some strikes sort of moving around the map. This guy as well, he's going to die unfortunately. But just trying to sort of see where everything is so I can get a good sort of sight of everyone. And here I'm just trying to keep walking back from these guys, keep them fighting me, but make it so that as long as all of them are not firing, I'm winning. As long as these guys are firing and moving and only the front of these guys get a bit of rockets off, that's good. These guys are going to get quite badly caught here. Oh no, they're fine. They sneaked away. That's okay. So I think I didn't get like what I thought was a good enough view of his force, so I just fly my strikes over here. Should have a few more building over here anyway. Yes, I remember this. Then I got up here. I've seen everything he's done, and here is the other diversion, and this is what I didn't react to well. He comes down here with these, but apart from the fact that they were scouting and got caught out because they were scouting, my Shrikes are actually out in time to defend against this harass, and I'm slow defending it because he wasn't there. Because I went to scout and I hadn't seen these, and he delayed from attacking me a bit because he saw my Shrikes out, so I sort of didn't think he'd be there. But because he delayed, I've got so many harvesters out already that actually the loss of those harvesters didn't really stop me that much, right? But the thing he does, which I sort of don't realise about enough, or don't react to well enough, is that he realised what I was doing, and after his first helipad went back to building factories, unlike his other games where he was focusing more on the air. So in this game, I end up just destroying his air, but then having these like awful situations where my Shrikes are just kind of sitting here, and I'm like, I don't really know what my Shrikes are to do, and he has so many more tanks than I'm used to, so I'm losing these fights, which I feel like I should win. And then he has some helicopters going around here to distract them, which I should send my Shrikes to deal with soon. But this is where you can see he reacted well to what I was doing and started just beefing up this big ground army. And you can see I'm still actually dealing with it pretty well. I've sort of realised I haven't gone for my second drone bay. I've instead kept making factories, and I'm actually keeping it quite up on the ground. But these three do a lot of damage to my economy. And because, you know, I see some helicopters here, so I'm like, oh great, there's stuff for my Shrikes to kill. This was another mistake by me not seeing on the map. But, and a lot of this time, look, I'm making wyverns now, because I'm like, there's nothing in the air to kill, so I want something that can hit ground. And, yeah. This was a good reaction by him against what I'd sort of done. These helicopters are sort of a little bit idle there, but still doing decently well. And look, these like ground engagements are sort of really close, but all these Shrikes are just being useless. Now, if I'd known these were in my backline, they would have been a lot more useful. But I've just forgot about them at this point, because I'm so not focusing them, because I'm like, I need this ground army to win. Now, God bless Harpies, doing a lot of damage. And you see, even actually with these Shrikes, I managed to sort of hold off this ground force, although here's his big old reinforcements. But now I have a sort of weird problem where, after making all these factories to get this big army, he has kept making helicopters. So I had too many Shrikes, and they were doing nothing. And now he has a load of this again, and I have too few Shrikes. Yeah, at this point I think I'd sort of realised that it was really the end for me. ZertoN sort of reacted well to what I'd been doing, and I'm not sure what I could have done, but I think my macro sort of fell behind a bit in this game as well. Like, I went for the sort of rushed second drone bay when I realised that, like, I stopped making Shrikes, and then when I realised I didn't have enough Shrikes, I went for the second drone bay, which actually ended up hurting me because he was still... I've moved this back a bit so we can move around the map. He was still only producing, I believe, off of one helipad. Yeah, still only off of one helipad. So I actually... this actually was just a waste. And, yeah. So it's an unfortunate one, but it was a good series against ZertoN. Oh, he actually did this thing. I don't even know what that is. Is that just a replay bug, or... Oh no, look. There we go. He had a thing. He sort of saw how much he was beating me and went for the swag nuke, I guess. I don't know if that's like a legitimate thing that's good, but I did try after this game, a game with trying to sort of play with Gorgons a bit, but I didn't really have a good map for it. Maybe teching to something like that would have been useful. But yeah, this concludes the matchup of this tournament. I'm going to look into doing... Oh, I even had heavy tanks. Holy fuck. I was really behind in this game. But yeah, I had a decent first game. Fell apart in the second game, and then build wasn't quite right for the rest of the games. And in this last game, ZertoN reacted absolutely perfectly to what I was doing and just demolished me. I'm going to look into looking at the other ones and maybe doing some replay analysis of them as well. But there's not going to be many other... I think Netput plays Marines, but apart from that, there's not going to be many Marine players. I actually probably won't be sort of as interesting in those games. I won't know myself as well. But if you do want to see those, remember to subscribe to your channel, like and all that. And I might even record some more Marine games today. See if I can get that done. So in those games I'll have more knowledge is what I was sort of thinking. So they might be more interesting. Anyway, thanks for watching, and goodbye.